Oh my god. Oh, what a week. What a fucking week. Hi everyone. Hi, hi. Hi those who joined. Hi everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. If you guys are new, if you guys are old, whatever. Welcome to the stream. Nice to meet y'all. Nice to see y'all again. New faces, old faces, whatever. Yeah, today's been a week. I mean, not today. This week has been very hectic with a lot of things that have happened in my life so far. And yeah, so probably gonna do a shorter, maybe partial stream tonight because I planned my normal stream for tomorrow. I'm making an event in my Discord, hold on. But I planned a normal stream for tomorrow. And I'm like, you know what? I surprisingly got some free time because I thought I was hanging out with my friends a bit more, but I guess not. But yeah, I'm with you guys. So let me just do this real quick. But hopefully everyone's doing well. Just make this event here. Now let's just make this start now. Yeah, that's fine. I must be in the future. Well, fuck you. Sure. Okay. 9:45. Boop. Okay. That is perfect. Okay. Ah, fuck, I am so tired. Dude, like, one thing that I've been doing for a very long time is just this fucking surgery shit. Surgery takes a lot out of you, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I've been ripped from the face of the planet just in terms of, like, I've just disconnected from reality at this point. Like, I go in, I do cases, and I leave. That's literally my entire day in a nutshell. I go in, I do some I watch or work on some surgery cases, and I leave. Look at some patients maybe, and leave. Day in and day out. The good news is this was the last day I had a weekend for... So basically, the way that my rotation worked is that I have some days where I have to go in 6 days a week, and some days where I have to go in 5 days a week, right? I mean, sorry, some weeks I have to go in 6 days, some weeks I have to go in 5 days, right? And the thing about that is it really takes a toll on you, especially when you're not used to 6-day weeks at all, and it's like the end of the year, and you just want to be done with it. Like, at this point, I want to be done with everything and start, you know, properly studying, having proper free time. A lot of my friends, you know, are winding down while I'm in a fucking grind set until the end, and it's just a crazy thing. I saw a lot of cool shit this week, though. I mean, I saw a lot of robotic surgeries. I did a few closures, suturing, things like that. So that was fun. Very interesting stuff. I obviously can't talk about specifics for privacy reasons, and the fact that it's fucking people that we're talking about here, not anything different. So yeah, I mean, fun part is that, you know, I saw a lot of fun stuff. The bad part is that I was spending a lot of my physical energy doing it, but thank God I'm off now. I have some free time. I am so happy that's the case. So yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well. I think it might be best to just run a quick ad break because Twitch is going to yell at me and I only have one snooze. So I'm going to run that real quick. We're going to run it and then we'll just get into whatever it is I want to talk about. We'll see what happens. All right. 1 second, guys. And again, if you subscribe, you won't see the ads because Twitch fucking sucks. And if you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitter, whatever, Twitch, you won't see the ads either. So that's also great. Gotta love ad breaks, though. Gotta love ad breaks. It nukes your viewership and it also nukes everything else, which is great. Amazing. Thank you so much, Twitch. Love you for that, dude. Man. Alright. I guess while that's going on, we get my iPad. And I might do some soldering as well. I got a few things that I do want to show you guys. And maybe we can like pick and choose what you want to do if you guys are interested. Otherwise, I'm just gonna yap for a little bit and maybe head off. Not sure. I'll see how I feel. But yeah, let me get some water and let me get some... Be right back. Just like an FYI, I've been up since like 5 a.m. today, so if you guys think that I'm tired, I most likely am. Oh gosh, 5 a.m. is a great time to wake up, man. Very great time to wake up. Let me just get rid of these notifications. Clean up my notes, because we don't want to show those in here. And then this. Boop. Okay, perfect. Apparently I made a few shorts, and they started blowing up. I mean, blowing up in my terms is more like getting to 1,000 views. I know a lot of more popular people get multiple thousands, and it's like very cool and shit, but I'm not one of those people, you know. I'm just set back. Can I make it more? Yeah. Do I have time to do so? No. I'm way too busy with so much shit going on right now that honestly, I'm probably planning on taking this more seriously maybe next year when I have actual time to do stuff. But for now, I don't know. It's a little bit more of just like keeping things. This is more of like a sanity thing than anything else. Also, welcome back. So, yeah, there's a lot of shit happening in the world of tech and the world of med. It's pretty bad. Let me just show you one thing that I saw regarding the world of tech. If I can find it. I don't know where the hell it is. Ah, shit, man. You see, I always forget to set things up when it comes to streaming, because I'm just stupid. Okay. So let's see here. Okay, this was community noted. Good, good. That's a good sign. Okay. I always love having, like, new content from shit that just gets broken. There are a few things that actually happened in the cybersecurity world over the past week, and it's actually after the supply chain attack I showed previously. It's getting worse. And rather than cover, I mean, I'm still gonna cover it. I'm still gonna cover the supply chain attack of Axios and Claude Code Gang leaked, but I do want to talk about why in the hell supply chain attacks are happening in general, because there seems to be a bigger spike compared to before, which is pretty cool, but also bad for computing as well. So let's see. What the hell did I put you? Ah, did I not put it? Did I not put in my bookmarks? Oh wait, what did I just do? Here we go. All right. This thing, yay, Axios, everybody's favorite web request library for JavaScript. So I guess we could just get straight into it. Why not? So there is a supply chain attack on this very important tool called Axios. This is big. This is like massive. A huge attack on this package is basically crippling the entire web. And I'm not even trying to be, you know, nonchalant about this. I'm just saying, like, this is really bad. It's not like the light LLM thing where, oh, it just crippled some AI. No, Axios is used on so many JavaScript applications, it's not even funny. It's like a standard tool for anything server-side JavaScript. And I could just explain what Axios does in a second, but it's pretty straightforward. Let me also open up the NPM website, and let me just show you what it does. So this is Axios. And literally, okay, we're just gonna let that go. Well, fuck you, Cloudflare. Don't get out of here. All right, so Axios is quite literally just an HTTP client for Node.js, right? So the way that HTTP is usually done in like JavaScript is the fetch API, right? So the fetch API is quite literally just trying to send a request somewhere, and then you get a response back, and it could be whatever it is. So you can send a GET request, POST request, whatever. And this is the backbone of a lot of web applications. However, for a very long time, fetch just wasn't supported in Node. And Node being the server-side framework that JavaScript runs on, mostly, I'll talk about that in a different stream probably, Axios was the solution. It made a asynchronous web request framework, or sorry, web request client, so that you could basically send GET, POST, whatever, and you could run that in server-side JavaScript without having to worry about anything. The other way to use fetch was simply just, back in the day, is a polyfill, something called Node Fetch. So this was a way to bring the fetch API to Node.js, but Axios is just like 50 times better anyway, so people use this. But the problem with open source libraries, especially popular ones, is that they can be compromised, as stated here. So there is a package called Plain Crypto.js, a package that did not exist in Axios before today. Let's look at the dependency tree. So if you go to the 3 dependencies, these are the 3 dependencies that are present. However, in a newer version of Axios that was published, there was a fourth dependency called plain crypto.js, and this is a malicious package, basically a malware package. This is basically, you know, saying you install the package using npm install whatever the fuck you're trying to do, and it's gonna install the malware onto your system and just run it straight up. That's how dangerous this shit is. It's really, 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 really bad. So yeah, let's see what it does. This is malware. Plain crypto.js is a dropper that deobfuscates embedded payloads, dynamically loads file systems to evade static analysis, executes shell commands, stages and copies payloads from OS temp to Windows program direct data, deletes and renames artifacts to destroy forensic evidence. So it's basically just stealing all your shit and then hiding the traces to say that stole your shit, basically. And yeah, pretty bad. And just for the scale as to just how many people use Axios, this is just in the past. Oh, sorry. This is just in the. These are just the weekly downloads. 89 million people are downloading this package. And this was the specific version that got borked. So the thing that I really want to push is that even though this specific version got borked, it's not like everybody is using this specific version, right? A lot of developers pin Axios to like a specific version, right? So we can scroll all the way down. You can see that there are different types of, so many different versions out there of Axios that people are using in their JavaScript code. But a lot of them, when they first install a JavaScript program, they're installing the latest version of Axios, which is the compromised package. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's just look up an article. Axios breach. So let's see. This one looks good. Okay, so to read this article, I can just draw it out in a sec. Axios, a widely used JavaScript HTTP client with 100 million NPM downloads, was compromised when an attacker hijacked the lead maintainer's NPM account. Oh no. It's always social engineering, isn't it? Huh? It's always social engineering. Every single fucking time. God. Alright, first, hold on. I'm gonna look and see if there's a postmortem. Oh, perfect, postmortem. Oh shit, so here is the maintainer, I guess. Sweet. So on March 21st, yada yada yada, there were a bunch of shit put on. Okay. Are you affected? Check your log file. That's okay. What happened? The attacker gained access to the lead maintainer's PC through a targeted social engineering campaign and rat malware. This gave them access to the NPM account credentials in which they used to publish the malicious versions. The attack followed patterns, documents, and similar campaigns targeting open source maintainers. So probably something like, oh, your GitHub account got locked or something. Click the link and sign in with 2FA here so you can access it again. That's what happened. Resolution, they wiped the lead maintainer devices, reset the credentials, everything was reset. Beautiful. Alright, so I don't have an exact timeline for when the initial compromise occurred, but this is a sequence of events. About 2 weeks, social engineering campaign initiated against the maintainer. Then plain crypto.js was published. Then Axios was published in plain crypto.js. Then Axios was published with the same payload. First external detections, community members filed the issues, and then the collaborators fix it and they get rid of everything. Lessons learned. Okay, so while we are actively investigating how unauthorized access was obtained and reviewing all aspects of our security posture and access controls, while I do not have confirmed details to share at this time, this incident reinforces the need for... Hi, 4Pasta, what's up? How's it going? I'm sorry, I'm just reading off a GitHub issue, but hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're doing well tonight. Let me know if you have any questions or anything. Well, welcome in. Welcome to the stream. Alright, so the incident reinforces the need for continuous monitoring, account protections, and vigilance against project infrastructure. God. It's like this is happening every week now. Like, every single week, I see a huge Twitter headline that says, it's a new supply chain attack. Like, you really think at this point that it's like, you know, supply chain attacks don't happen, people will understand, get smarter, but no, not happening. Oh god. So yeah, supply chain attacks fucking suck. But yeah, let's continue reading. So, summary for broader audience. We could confirm that 2 compromised versions of Axios were briefly made. We are working with the companies that operate the system, so NPM. This is a result of the compromised lead maintainer's account. Okay, that's pretty much it. So let's see. Transparency. Thanks for the write-up. How did they trick you? How did they trick him? I want to see how this guy was tricked. How the fuck did this even happen? What's the RAS on your machine? They have control of everything on your machine. Okay. What is the... Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Found it. Alright, so I will share how they do the attack. So the attack vendor mimics what Google has documented here. Alright, so what have they done? AI-enabled social engineering. North Korean threat. Buddy, what type of shit am I getting into, right? What the fuck is this? North Korean threat actors continue to evolve their tradecraft to target the crypto and DeFi verticals. What the actual fuck is this? All right, we'll read this in a second. So they masquerade as the founder of a company that they have cloned the company's founder's likeness, as well as the company itself. Then they invited me to a Slack workspace. It was branded to the company's CI and named in a plausible manner. The Slack was thought out. They had channels where they were sharing LinkedIn posts. Went to the real company's account. It was convincing. They had fake profiles of the team. Damn. They scheduled a meeting with me to connect. The meeting was on MS Teams. It seemed to be a group of people that were involved. The meeting said something on my system was out of date. This guy just got scammed. This meeting said something was out of date. I installed a missing item. I presumed it was something to do with Teams, and this was the rat. So you're telling me that Microsoft Teams and it being a piece of crap, I hate Microsoft Teams, it's terrible, caused the entire internet to be hacked. What the fuck, dude? What? Can someone please explain, like, why? What? Okay, this is just insane. This is insane. I don't know what else to say, but other than this is insane. Like, what the fuck? And I can't even take the high road here. I can't even take the high road, because if this were me, right, for example, I might have done the same fucking thing. Most open source maintainers probably would have done the same fucking thing. Also, most open source maintainers don't come out of a basement anyway, so that's a different story in and of its own. But yeah, this is insanity. This is crazy shit. Fuck, dude. Like, how in the ever-loving hell did this happen? It's like the entire Gia Tan thing happening. I always bring up the XZ attack because that's always the most interesting social engineering experience I've ever seen. But yeah, so let's just write out what happened here. I believe I have my iPad. Nope, I do not. Great. Love that. Boop. There we go. Let's see here. Will my iPad connect is the question. Okay. Alright. So, let's see what happened. So we got Axios. 5K. Hey, Sataris. What's good? What's good? How you doing? 5K? What do you mean by 5K? You want me to do on a 5K run, or you got me some 5K in bank, you know? I'd love to know. But yeah, sorry. So let's start with Axios. This is the big boy package. It's used by everybody. Oh, 5K screen sharing. Yeah, yeah. So it's used by everyone, right? Every single person on the web. Then, again, right, supply chain. We already know how this works from the light LLM shit. But we got the malicious step. Gets published for the malicious package. Right, so this all got published. And basically, what happened here was, instead of the CI/CD being bypassed this time around, lead credentials were taken and then used to push this malicious dependency in the malicious package. And this was done through social engineering. And therefore, the entire internet just got blown up. There you go. There's the Axios thing in a nutshell. I mean, it's the exact same thing. I have the light LLM thing here somewhere. Hold on. Again, I save everything that I write. Yeah, it's literally... Okay, yeah, rip internet. I'll explain what I explained this before, but hold on. So this is the light LLM supply chain issue, right? Basically, a upstream dependency completely fucked over light LLM. Not their fault at all. This time, the open source maintainer who makes the package that runs a ton of the fucking server-side JavaScript world just got socially engineered. And what I mean that the internet blew up is quite literally, right? 89 million people download Axios weekly. Oops. Including myself. I've used Axios in my packet, in my own programs or my own projects because it's a really good package, and this can compromise so many people if they download it. It just puts a fucking Trojan on their system. It's crazy. So yeah, that's like yet another supply chain attack that happened because fuck it, why not, you know? Fuck, dude. Like, how does this happen? How does whatever. Okay. Listen, I have a habit of saying the same thing multiple times. When something is this crazy, I just have to keep wondering how, where in the chain did things get lost? And I feel like this is a good segue to go into supply chain attacks in general, because supply chain attacks are more prominent in today's time. I feel like it's been more prominent ever since the AWS thing. I mean, that's just when I hooked onto it, right? But let's just explain how a supply chain attack works. So we have a package, right? And this package goes into programs. Actually, let's not even start packages, okay? Let's start from an inverted pyramid, all right? So first we have our program. Now, most modern day programs don't write all of the code from scratch, right? Developers share code on package managers. So package managers are imported into the language, and then they're used. So we have our program, and package managers contain bits of code called libraries, right? So libraries are essentially bits of shared code that can be imported into your program, and these are called packages, served by something called a package manager, which is usually built into the programming language itself. For example, npm, PyPy, Cargo, etc. Right? So now we have all these libraries being injected into the program. The problem is, the more common code you share, the more dependent the code is on the package. This is why these are called dependencies. Or deps, for sure. Okay? So you can see the chain of command going from here. And these libraries can also have their own dependencies, right? So it just keeps going up and up and up and up and up, and it just keeps going and going and going. So let's say one dependency gets compromised by a hacker, right? Every single library that pulls from this dependency is also compromised. And when your program pulls the compromised package, it then propagates whatever malware is present in this hack dep, and it just runs it on your system. So therefore, you just completely pwned yourself. That's how a supply chain attack works. It's so easy to do, and the hacking is basically through some sort of way to get credentials or access to publishing the compromised package. Sometimes these could be overt, right? You just see a pull request, someone merges it, and it works perfectly. So I can write that down. So merge APR, right? A seemingly innocent. Or it could be something like Notepad++, where it's completely covert, and the upstream server is publishing packages on your behalf, as opposed to you publishing them by yourself. So that's as bad as it can be, right? Now let's talk about why are supply chain attacks increasing. Right? Why are the supply chain attacks increasing? Why are we hearing about supply chain so much compared to previous months, previous years? And I have a few theories. Number one is the simplest theory, automation. Right? The more we automate our code, the more we use tools that include continuous integration, continuous development, CI/CD, basically a computer in the cloud runs a set of steps to build the product for you in various different OSs, permutations, whatever. This form of automation makes it easier to compromise. Again, if a human writes the code and a human pushes the code to releases, then it's less likely to be compromised because it's on the human's host machine and being pushed online. However, if you put a middleman, so in this case, this is the middleman, right? You run a CI/CD build, this CI/CD can be compromised at any time, which is what happened with Light LLM. And with Light LLM's case, they basically had no idea this was happening because they were just running their automation stuff while they had better things to do. It's a trade-off when you try and make things streamlined with CI/CD, but you also have the issue of, hey, my shit can get hacked at any time because I'm trusting someone else's computer to do all of the building work for me. So that's one thing. The second thing is people, right? And previously I said, you know, human code, but specifically social engineering. And this is powered mainly by AI. And since these guys are getting smarter, right? These guys are getting way smarter. They're making more official looking bait. So honeypots, basically, where open source maintainers can just jump in and they'll be like, oh my god, my thing is going to be cooked. My package is going to be cooked. The entire web sphere is going to be cooked. You know, the entire internet's going to be completely screwed. And this is what happened with Axios. So Axios completely got fucked over by social engineering and possible AI involvement as well. I mean, people obviously use AI for nefarious things in addition to good things. So yeah, that's the second thing. And the third thing is, I mean, again, we go to automation, we go to social engineering, but we also just have, you know, burnout. Let's say, for example, and this is especially in open source, and this is what happened with the XZ package back in 2023. Open source maintainers are people, right? And this really links back to the people thing that I mentioned in point 2. Open source maintainers are people, and people get frustrated with the amount of shit that goes on, and they just throw in the towel and just keep maintaining the package as long as they can. Especially when there's so many people depending on the package at the same time, it kind of creates this malicious ecosystem where the developer is doing all of the shit for free, and they're keeping everything live, they're keeping everything online just to make it so that other people can use their package and code. However, it takes a toll on the developer's mental state, and when somebody, you know, pushes the developer a little too far, they give up, they cede the codes, or they just make a mistake, right? We're people, we can make mistakes. And that's where you have these social engineering things taking developers by the horns and completely screwing over the package as a result, without the developer knowing anything until they've been let know, the community lets them know. So yeah, that's essentially what I believe is why supply chain attacks are increasing, because it's just that we're handing things off or burning ourselves out as coding and the sphere of development in general just gets bigger and bigger and more automated. It's a little bit of a dangerous game, right? It's a little bit of a dangerous game as to how we're throwing things, more menial tasks away to machines, because machines can be compromised in any way, shape, or form, as opposed to people, which can also be compromised by just straight burnout or just mislooking at something. But that's really less often than automation being compromised. So yeah, it's a lot of things happening, but it kind of sucks that supply chain attacks are happening more often now. And oh, also I forgot to mention, right? 4 is just vibe coding, right? So for example, like a pull request, say like a maintainer just doesn't check the pull request properly, and it's been coded by Claude or AI or some other AI tool. The next thing you know, you merge the PR, it has some malicious shit in it, and then your package is compromised. Like, that's another possibility. Again, I'm a person who hates vibe coding. It sucks and it's terrible, and I really don't recommend you do it. Learn how to code. It's not that hard. You could do some tutorials. There's so many ways to learn online, and it's way more fulfilling than just spitting out a huge thing into AI and asking, hey, can you code this for me, please? Thank you very much. Like, and it's just gonna spit out some shit that doesn't even work half the time. Like, I don't understand the principle of vibe coding. I think it's just a scourge. Again, I do use AI in coding. Right? I think everybody with a pulse uses AI in coding nowadays, but most people use it as revision. As I've said millions upon millions of times before, they use it as revising their own shit. The ability to properly code is difficult, but the ability to have a pair programmer with you is really nice to have, especially when you're trying to solve a complicated problem that you don't know the answer to just yet. Until you ask AI, you play around with it, and then you know what the answer is. So yeah, That's just like vibe coding in a nutshell. I dislike it. I don't think it's very helpful for anybody in general, but that's just my extreme opinion on the thing. You can think that vibe coding is great, good for you, but not my thing. Not my cup of tea, you know? So yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's Axios. As to what happened there, I mean, nothing too crazy. Just the fact that there's another supply chain attack, but I don't know, maybe I don't know if I should keep covering these supply chain attacks because they're quite literally the same thing over and over and over again. They don't stop. Like, you're always gonna have some sort of supply chain attack pop up out of nowhere. So let's see. There's also a few other things I would like to talk about. Well, let me just pull them up real quick. Let's see. What is this? Oh, there actually was a bug here. Jeez. Okay, we'll take a look at that in a second. But, another thing was hacking of, I guess good hacking? I don't fucking know. So if you guys don't know, there is this piece of software called Claude Code. And Claude Code, as I said before, is vibe coding, right? It's the ability to use the Claude LLM. So let me just look this up for you guys. So Anthropic. All right. So these are the guys that, oh, god damn it, it's dark. So these are the guys that made Claude, which is a very, very highly powered AI model, LLM model that's used for so many things. But most people use it for productivity and coding because apparently it's good for that. I don't use Claude, I use ChatGPT most of the time, but it's a good model, right? And Claude has this tool called Claude Code. And Claude Code is used to do pretty much anything. It's your AI pair programmer, right? So being an AI pair programmer, you can see here, this is how you install it. Basically just a JavaScript thing. But yeah, so Claude Code, you just run it in wherever you want, terminal, desktop, VS Code, wherever, VS Code Z, doesn't matter. You basically are able to use it as a pair programmer. But this is a proprietary tool. There's no open source code for anything here. There's an open source repo, but the actual code for Claude Code doesn't exist. This is where open code comes into play, right? So open code is an open source Claude Code where you're able to run any model from anywhere as a coding agent. And it's a really good tool. I highly recommend you use it if you ever are trying to get into coding with AI. Great tool. But yeah, Claude Code has always been a black box. It's always been really good. The next thing you know, Claude fucked up when they published their package and it got hacked and it got leaked. So yeah, people reverse engineered a JavaScript mapping file, which is essentially just a file mapping obfuscated functions to where they're supposed to go. And then we just have all of this shit here. So this is Claude Code right here. The entire program, just the entire closed source program got completely leaked. And now people know how it works. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it is so beautiful. So what's gonna happen? Well, I mean, all of the open source programs will make themselves better. That's basically what's gonna happen. I mean, the proprietary... I mean, Claude's gonna try and DMCA. That's what they're gonna do, because it technically is their work, and they've licensed it proprietarily. But open source maintainers, like people from Open Code, can take a look at this and see like, hey, how can we improve our tool so that it can compete with Claude Code? Basically getting an insider look as to how it looks, right? Rip Claude secret info. Yeah, pretty much. Claude just got completely hacked. How is Claude gonna monetize now? I mean, there's a few things they can do, and they have actually been doing, right? The first thing is just removing third-party support. Like, if you want to use Claude with coding, you just have to use their first-party tools. That's one thing they could do. And I think that's actually one thing they did. Hold on. Anthropic. Oops. Third party. I believe there's something here. Yeah, here we go. Oh, God. Do I read this in the fucking ASMR voice again, man? Alright, so starting April 4th at 12 p.m., you'll no longer be able to use your Claude subscription limits for third-party harnesses, including OpenClaw. You can still use them with your Claude account, but they will require extra usage. So, okay. Let's explain this for a sec. Alright, so Claude and most cloud AI providers switched from a pay-as-you-go model to a subscription model. So let's talk about cloud AI, right? So before, back in like 2023, let's just say like ChatGPT released, right? 2022, 2023, actually it's 2022. So ChatGPT released, and this became a pay-as-you-go. So the more you use ChatGPT, the more money you accrue. However, this isn't lucrative for casual consumers who just want to use the product. So OpenAI decided to rebrand ChatGPT, I guess like in 2024 to be a subscription model, right? So you pay 20 bucks for ChatGPT Plus. And that's what I pay, right? I pay 20 bucks a month. And you're able to use as many requests as you can until you hit a limit. So there's a limit on the amount of requests you can hit, but for basic ChatGPT users, it's not going to change anything. You're going to use ChatGPT, no interruptions, nothing. There's usually daily and weekly limits. This adds a cap so that people can't abuse the API. This also became a thing on Claude, Gemini, and the list goes on. So therefore, cloud models become way more lucrative, so you're not paying your ass out in tokens. There's also a pay-as-you-go method for developers, but you don't really need it with ChatGPT Plus, right? Now, here's what Claude used to have, right? So you can have Claude, you pay 20 bucks a month for a subscription, and this is the shitty tier. You can pay 200 bucks a month for a more pro tier, so you get more requests, right? But let's just go with the 20 bucks. All right, and out of that 20 bucks, you can divvy it up with chatting, you can divvy it up with coding, you can divvy up with agentic shit, whatever the fuck that hype train is. So all of those are divvied up and account towards your total requests. Now what they did is instead of counting towards your total requests, let's type Claude here. What they did is, let's say they only count towards the $20 per month plan if you're only using first-party tools. If anything is third-party, it's gonna cost you extra, in addition to the $20 per month. That is insane. Like, what the fuck? Basically, you have ChatGPT, which has this philosophy, exactly the same philosophy, and Claude is just shooting themselves in the foot by doing this. All because their own fucking tool got leaked. They're not even making... What money are they making with Claude Code? I don't understand. Is it to give vendor lock-in with Claude? But people are using Claude with, like, open code anyway. So it's like, what are they losing? I don't get it. But, yeah, like... So now, they're just saying, hey, we're going to basically make you pay as you go if you're using open code or OpenClaw or anything else with Claude besides our own tools. Like, bruh, this is gonna shoot Claude in the foot. Anthropic is not gonna be able to survive from this if they keep doing this, because the only reason why Claude is popular is because it's really, really good with this stuff. Okay. But yeah, you can see what I'm saying here, right, Zataris? WoW is right, dude. Oh my god, it's terrible. This is so stupid. Like, why would you do this? But yeah, a leak goes to a lot of things. But yeah, in my opinion, use Gemini, use ChatGPT, fuck Claude. I like ChatGPT because it's a really good general purpose cloud model, but you could also go local, right? That's a good way to go as well. Get some Chinese models, run that shit on like 50,000 GPUs and pray. I unfortunately do not have the money for 50,000 GPUs. So I will not be doing that, as you can tell. I am broke. I'm a medical student. I don't have money. So yeah, that's what I mean. But yeah, that fucking sucks. Terrible shit, you know? I'd love to dive more into the Claude code, source code, and see like what stupid shit they put in there to make things work. Because when you look at enterprise code that's obfuscated and basically de-obfuscated and released to the public, there's always something stupid in there that they just added so they can just patch everything out. That's what I believe happened. Oh god. Anyways, that's Claude code. Yeah. Fun shit. So yeah, right now we got supply chain attack. And then we got shit that got leaked. And this all happened in the previous week, just mind you. While I was doing surgeries, all of this shit just started happening in front of my eyes. Oh yeah, also Adobe got breached. We'll talk about that later. I know you guys like Adobe anyway. Oh yeah, and the smart fridges also display ads now. What do you guys, okay. So, if you guys don't know, I made a short previously about smart fridges and I reposted on TikTok. It gained a good amount of traction somehow. What do you guys think about smart fridges? Let me know in the chat what you think, but smart fridges are... I still don't see the point of them. I don't understand why you need a screen on a fridge. I don't get it, still. I've seen some compelling arguments, but like, you could just use your phone for all of that shit. You have a pocket computer for a reason. The good news is, you know, you can turn all the ads off here, which is good, right? You can shut off all the ads, but why the fuck do we need ads on a smart fridge in the first place? It's like, okay. This is one thing that angers the ever-loving crap out. This is the one thing that angers the crap out of me. Smart TVs. Actually, you know what? Oh, I'm out of snooze. Let me run the ad break, and then I'll talk about smart TVs. Hold on, let me just run this. Fucking ads, man. Okay, there we go. Let's let that run for a bit, and then we can keep going. Ah, jeez. Welcome to ad break hell. Hopefully you enjoy your stay. I might get the soldering kit out in a bit because I do want to test something. I'll do more of it on tomorrow's stream. I also need to compute all of the keyboard study things that we did over the past week. I'll talk about that in a second once we get done talking about smart TVs. But yeah, the keyboard typing test was pretty cool. I'm glad of the people. I'm very happy that a lot of people showed up, especially people in the Tabby community. They pulled up, they sent in their typing speeds, and it's pretty cool. I have so much data, a lot of data from you guys, from people on Twitter, from people everywhere. So it's great. Yeah, let's let this run for a bit. I'm just gonna rest my mind. Again, if I sound a little low energy this stream, it's mainly because I'm just tired. I'll definitely be more high energy tomorrow when I'm actually supposed to stream, because, you know, that makes a lot more sense to do. But yeah, I'm just making today more so just time to yap, more so time to relax, and more so time to chill. I'm more in like that, you know, groove mindset right now rather than grind mindset. Oh god. Alright, beautiful. Okay, so one thing I have a huge gripe about is smart TVs. And it's not the fact that, you know, oh, TVs have more features, they have apps and shit. No, it's the fact that every single TV nowadays is a smart TV. It has smart TVs inbuilt. Right? You can't buy a dumb TV. You can't buy a dumb TV without spending extra money. Like, to remove the extra features, you have to pay more money. So you're basically stuck with this shitty smart TV home screen with, let me just draw a TV here, with basically all of these extra junk, some ads here, some TV shows here, etc., etc. Whereas in the end, you're still using like a TV box anyway, and I recommend the On TV box. That thing is good. You're using like a Fire Stick, using an Android TV box. In the end, you're not really using this fucking TV. In a nutshell, right? Like, if you have any, you know, knowledge of TVs nowadays, people just get one of these Fire Sticks and they get a TV and they just plug them in. Nobody uses the built-in operating system on their TV unless they just, you know, don't really care, which honestly is a fair thing to do. But yeah, the built-in operating systems always suck, but they're always there. They're always showing ads, they're always connecting to the internet, and they cost less than just not having that. It's insane. Why does it cost more? I mean, I can conjecture, I can guess why it costs more is because rather than, you know, they offset the decreased profit by adding all these smart features with user data, right? Data collection. These smart TVs are just collecting your fucking data and selling it to the highest bidder through all of these ads. They're targeting ads towards you on your smart TV home, and next thing you know, right, they cost less than just buying a dumb TV. It's so paradoxical, right? The TV that has more features costs less. What? Like, why can't I buy a stupid TV? I could buy a monitor. Why can't I buy a big monitor, you know? I don't want the Samsung OS. I don't want the LG OS. I don't want my fucking Roku OS. I just want to have a monitor to plug my fucking teeny ass $20 streaming box into. Thank you very much. That's why smart TVs fucking suck. They are terrible and I hate them. Anyways, God, I never understood. If anyone ever wants to tell me why are smart TVs necessary, please let me know, because I will just crash out over smart TVs and just smart appliances in general, because I never understand why they're here. I never understand why they're necessary in general. So yeah, great, fun. Oh, fuck me, dude. Okay, but yeah. I think we're gonna spend this time, rather than, you know, yapping about articles and stuff, more so just spending time laying back, tabulating some results. Because this past week, I did a sort of study on typing speed, right? Last stream, we talked about a bunch of stuff, and one thing that came up was typing speed in terms of writing notes, doctor's notes, soap notes, whatever. And I was thinking that newer generations will less so rely on voice transcription and more so rely on speaking and more so rely on typing, because the newer generations have faster typing is my thought process, right? So I put that to the test. I asked a bunch of people, you guys, people on Twitter, people in my software development communities, to try typing their first attempt on monkey type and getting their words per minute, and then seeing what your age group is. So whether it's like young 18 to 24, my age group, 25 to 28, I believe I put, or sorry, 28 to 25 to 34, and then 35 and up. So if you're old, you're young, you're like middle-aged, or you're young. And again, I obviously went on the more younger side as the bias here, but I just want to tabulate all of these into a spreadsheet. So I'm going to open up Excel. Do I have Excel on this computer? Yeah, I do. Is it? Oh my god, it's lagging. Okay. I don't... Yeah, just... Let me open up Google Sheets. It's probably the better option anyway. Let's open up Google Sheets here. And I'm going to switch over to my Games account. There we go. Okay. What the fuck is that doing in here? Yeah, here. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. So, fuck off. Don't care. Get out. Typing. Study. So I'm gonna go into Discord. I'm gonna go into Twitter and tabulate all of these results. And we're gonna see from here. Oh, jeez, there's so many. Wow. Okay. I did not expect it to be this big. I mean, this isn't that big, but I didn't expect the samples to be this big in general. So what I'm going to do is let me make... All right. How do I approach this? I'm going to make a... So we have to make a graph of points, essentially. Okay. So we can type WPM and age group. And then we'll see from there. Actually, no, wait. 18 to 24. 25 to 34. So we'll put the age group here. And then 35 plus. And then we can put WPM here. And I guess we could run this across the... maybe I need to flip this. Hold on. Again, I'm pretty good at Excel in general. Just that gets a little hard to do. Wish Maddie was here. She'd probably tell me how to do a spreadsheet, right? Oops. There we go. 35 and up. No, not 25. 35. Oop. 35 plus. Yeah. All right, and then WPM. Actually, there we go. Translocate it there. All right, so let's compute all these results here. So we got 35 plus 59 words per minute. 59, then we got 25 to 34 is 140. Okay, and then we got 85 and then 35 plus category. And this will tabulate how many people are in each category as well. 18 to 24 is 86 words per minute. 132 words per minute. Okay, my buddy did it. Just second attempt. I don't know if I should count it. 149. Jesus Christ, Nim. Jesus Christ. That's a huge amount. That's a speedy typer. God damn. All right. 149 for 18 to 24. Okay. 85 for 18 to 24. Oh, I should also include my own result, too. 63 for 25 to 34. 35 plus 108. Okay. 140 for 35 plus. This is also kind of giving me a perspective on who my audience is. 6, 7 for 18 to 24. Okay. 35 plus. First attempt 52. Second attempt 68. Okay. 2. 26. Alright, it's 26 years old, so 99. Okay. 30. That's 34, so 101. Okay. Jesus Christ, my friend is that old. 35 plus. 8. 25 to 34. 90. Jeez, my friends are fucking old, dude. Holy shit. I didn't even notice this. 25 to 34, 108. Okay. Now we're getting more 25 to 34 entries. 25 to 34, 110. 18 to 24, 86. Okay, that's far from that channel. Let's see in the other channel. Oh dear fucking god. It's... Okay, cool. So this is this guy's... Okay. So 36 at 107. Okay. 34, that's on the cutoff at 68. Not native speaker, though. That's okay, though. Alright. 106 at 22. 24, okay. 19, 125. Okay. Okay, so we got pretty even data set, actually. It's pretty good. Alright, I put his at 9. That's a pretty even data set. I'm actually surprised that we got something super even. Look at this. It's pretty good. Alright, so let me look at Twitter. I made a tweet about it and I pinned it. I gotta unpin it. I'm gonna repin the old thing. Yeah, I got one. Alright, so 163, 25 to 30. 160. Jeez. How fast can some of these people type, dude? And then 163. Okay. Now I just need mine. What's mine? 117. Okay, so I'm 18 to 24. Alright. Almost 20. Almost to that 25 age group. Okay, cool. So that's the tabulated data here. And we're gonna save this for tomorrow. I'm gonna probably... Yeah, so let's do this, actually. So we have the words per minute over here. So we're gonna do equal to average. And we're just gonna compute all those. Alright. And we're gonna autofill these. B2 to B10. Okay. And then this one goes to 9. Okay, sweet. So, cool. All right. Well, this tells us an interesting story, but there are a lot of biases that are present in this study that I did here. This is more so kind of to see the audience that I have. But yeah, this is pretty cool. This is pretty neat. All right, so we'll talk more about this little study thing tomorrow. I more so just want to gather and compute all the data. This is a pretty good data set. Let's just add up how many people we have here. So, how do I do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 2 is 16, 24, 25 total participants. So let's just put that there. 25 total participants. Okay, that's a pretty decent amount for something like this. I mean, the bigger the sample size, the better the study in this case, right? So 25 total is nice. And then, yeah, so we could make our conclusions from here when, I guess tomorrow, when I actually do stream. So yeah. Okay. Let me just hide this. What's this out? Alright. Okay. What else do I need to do today? Might also do some coding. I've been working on TwitchBot, and I think that would be a good idea. But I also do want to do a bit of soldering practice, especially since tomorrow I'm going to be working on some GBA cartridges. Maybe I'll do that instead. I set the soldering station a bit, but maybe I do want to code, actually. I don't really know. Okay. Decision paralysis is hard. I don't know what to do. Man. What do I do? What do I do? I have no idea. Fuck. Alright, I'm gonna just go BRB real quick. I just need to rest my brain, then I'll be right back. Dude, I'm getting old. Also, hey Tyler, how you doing? I'm getting old. Oh god, my hips hurt. Oh, I'm tiny. Okay, that's better. My hips hurt, my back is cracking, my everything is dying, you know? Why is my mic being stupid? There we go, that's better. Okay. Good. So I'm gonna show you guys a thing that I got. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty cool. Hold on. Let's just set the hand cam. 1 second. Oh, jeez. Oh, my fingers. Alright. Korean webcam. Sweet. Okay, and then you plug this in. Y'all know my streams, it's always very, very well prepared. I put this. Put it right here. That works. Alright. Zoom in. Okay. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at here. You guys can't see that. There you go. So as you can see, hand cam, hands, right? So my friend bought me, and I showed this on my Twitter, but my friend bought me some very interesting relics. And I'll go over the story in a second. It's located in this Altoids container. So as you guys know, I have this Game Boy, right? And I modded it about a month ago. This is my Game Boy, my personal Game Boy. Pretty good mod. We did it on stream, right? And my friend noticed that I learned how to solder, right? So I learned how to solder. I showed off my Game Boy. I took it to my friend's place and we were doing things. And my friend's like, you know how to solder now, right? And I'm like, yeah, I do know how to solder. And he's like, you know what? I have some games that I need help with, you know, replacing a few things. I'm like, sure, let's take a look. And let me show you guys what games they are, because this is like a peek into retro. Pokemon. So we got Pokemon Ruby, we got Pokemon Sapphire, and where's the last one? Yeah, here it is. We have Pokemon Emerald right here. So these are the 3 Pokemon cartridges that my friend gave me, and as you know, I have an Easy Flash, so I'm just running all the games off an SD card on my own Game Boy. But as you can see, I have these 3 games right here, so Nintendo can't fuck me over with C&D letters, because these are owned copies of games. So let's just power on the Sapphire cartridge, for example, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So I'm gonna power on the system. See, that turns on, cartridge is inserted, looks great. It launches perfectly fine. Alright. And you can see right here, there's a Sapphire version of the game. And when I hit start, it says the internal battery has run dry, the game can be played. However, clock-based events will no longer occur. And there is a player. So, basically the Sapphire and the Ruby versions were secondhand from, like, eBay, I guess, that my friend bought. And this Emerald version is my friend's game from when he was a kid. So, we're gonna keep that Emerald, we're gonna save this Emerald version for last, and I'll probably work on that one tomorrow. I do want to work on one today, though, just to get some practice. And the aim of the game here is to replace the battery inside the cartridge. And I'm gonna explain what is going on there. And also, yes, my Game Boy looks to almost be dead. My Game Boy battery looks to almost be dead, so I gotta charge that bad boy up. I haven't charged this thing in days, so it's pretty good that's dying now. So yeah. We're gonna be cracking open these things, and we're gonna see what's going on inside. But before I do that, I should make a simple explanation as to what's going on with Game Boy cartridges, right? So, if you look at Game Boy cartridges in general, they look like this, right? You have the GBA style of cartridge. This is the Game Boy Advance cartridge. Game Boy cartridges were about this big, like a bit taller and a bit more squared off. The Advance cartridges have these little tabs here as well to denote like it's a Game Boy Advance game. So let me just show you why some cartridges had little batteries inside them. This is a really interesting topic because it's before, you know, the digital age of games in general. So back in the Game Boy era, a lot of things were old, so therefore they were more analog. And I'm gonna put analog in quotes because that's what it really was. The Game Boy is quite literally just a shell. It's a shell for a cartridge. And this was common of most game systems of the time. So this is why I call it analog, because there's no such thing as a proper OS on these things. Like, you don't have a home screen, you don't have a way to launch a game, you just plug in the cartridge and you play the damn thing. So, the Game Boy had the parts. It had, you know, and the parts include, like, the console, the CPU, the motherboard, audio, etc, etc. Yeah, literally plug and play. It's literally plug and play, exactly. However, some things in games, you know, are required. For example, clock-based events. Something that's using the system time. That's present on modern consoles that start from, like, the DS However, on a Game Boy, there was no way to tell the time on a Game Boy from a developer perspective. So developers had to bake this in. Even saving a game was done on the cartridge instead of the system. That's unheard of in today's time, but back in the day, cartridge saving was all done on the cartridge. So you could throw your cartridge in any Game Boy and it'll have your save in it, just as I showed you before. And this is a problem because there's no real way to save. Previously, there used to be like passwords to get to specific games and, you know, persistent flash memory, which is, you know, the chip that's used nowadays to store data. It didn't really exist back then. So back in the day, you know, you had to add a battery to power a RAM chip, to continuously power a RAM chip to keep your saves intact. Because RAM was really like the only memory. This was really called just SRAM, save RAM, to save your game persistently on powered memory. There was no persistent cold storage memory like flash memory. So in older Game Boy games such as Pokemon Red or Blue and Gold, like as an example, these had the battery that were required to save the games. But in the games that I'm showing you here, like Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, these actually do have flash memory, so the save games aren't gone if you remove the battery. Literally, the only thing the battery is powering is the clock circuit in here. And that's why when the battery runs dry, it says the game can be played, but the clock doesn't work. So newer games, right? So Ruby has flash, which means that the battery is for the extra parts that the Game Boy doesn't come with. So that's basically Game Boy batteries in a nutshell. So again, the repairs that I'll be doing are, you know, shouldn't really be done on older cartridges because you need to continuously keep powering the cartridge in order to keep your save alive. There's a video on this guy named James' channel. He's way more popular than I ever will be, but he is really cool and he does a lot of DIY modding videos and I like his stuff, but he makes a whole tutorial on how to change the battery on GBA, or sorry, just plain old Game Boy Pokemon cartridges. I'm doing one with the GBA cartridges. But yeah, I appreciate my friend for giving these to me. And again, once there are games like Pokemon Fire Red, Leaf Green that have the same architecture as this, except there was no clock in them, so there was really no need to have a battery in them. So yeah. Again, Fire Red and Leaf Green are probably the definitive versions of the Pokemon games for the Gen 1 Pokemon games, because they, you know, have all the modern features and everything. But yeah, so I'm gonna pull out my soldering tools. We're gonna attempt to just, I'm gonna do the rest of them tomorrow, right? But we're just gonna attempt to desolder, or sorry, we're gonna attempt to replace the battery on just either, I guess I could do Sapphire. I like Pokemon Ruby. I actually remember owning this cartridge when I was younger, right? I had this specific cartridge. I don't know where it went though. So it's great to have another one here. But yeah, this one is a childhood favorite, and this one is my friend's actual game, so I'll be doing this one last. So I guess the one that the one that stays is the Sapphire version. Yay! And we just tested that works. Alright, so I'm just gonna get the parts here. And again, my friend bought all of this for me. If you guys do want something repaired, right, that's Game Boy related, I guess, you could send it to me if you want to. I don't really know how much I'll be pricing it for, if anyone's even ever interested in this shit. But I'd be happy to repair it when I have an off day, because I like tinkering with things. Alright, let's get a screw bit. So if we flip this back, GBA cartridges only have one screw. I'll zoom in on this here. So you can see that the only screw is just one of these tri-wing screws, which I have a bit for. Pretty easy to take out. Yep. Okay. And screw should be out in a bit. There we go. Alright, so screws out. Now, one thing you'll notice is that you won't be able to pull open the cartridge once the screw is out. You need to slide the cartridge down, and then you can lift the cover off. Just make sure you do that, otherwise you're gonna break the cart. And you can see, there's the motherboard, and there's the little button battery right here. So this guy powers the real-time clock circuit. This little crystal thing here is basically just a crystal oscillator that allows you to tell the time. I don't really know how it works, honestly. I would probably look it up. But it looks like someone's been in here. That solder job is not factory solder. So this was replaced at some point. There's no way that the factory soldered the battery like this. This is... And there's still some solder flux on here. I would be surprised if the factory soldered the battery like this, honestly. Okay. Let's dump it out. So here's our board. It's a board. What else am I gonna say about it? I don't think I really need the helping... I have helping hands here. I don't think I really need them for this, but we could try them anyway. Here's the cartridge, by the way. Just gonna put it off to the side. Okay. So the aim of the game is just to replace this battery. And rather than just popping a new one of these, you know, solder-pointed batteries on, I got these, or, well, I told my friend to buy these little replacement battery shells. Because since my friend doesn't know how to solder, nor wants to solder, we got these little replacement shells so that he could just pop one of these batteries in, these little Duracell batteries. They could just pop one of them in if it ever runs dry again, you know? If it ever runs dry in the next 20 years, just know that your Pokemon Ruby game can be saved by just popping the battery in and out. Fucking hell, man. The only problem is, I don't know which side is positive and which side is negative. And that's pretty important considering that there are positive and negative leads here. So, let me look that up and figure it out. Let me go on Amazon here. CR 16. Holder. Probably the side that has positives. Yeah, there's no markings, man. I don't see any markings here that show positive or negative. There's one side with a leaf and there's one side with nothing. So I'm trying to figure out which one is which. And there's no markings. That's the problem. I mean, I could just do a simple test. That could work. Let's see. Okay. Do not fry the sapphire. That's what I'm trying not to do. Also, hi, Ika. Let's see. Also, ad break. I'm sorry, guys. I only have one snooze. It's gonna run. Wah. Okay, but like, yeah, but like, which side is positive and which side is negative, you little fuck? What the hell? How do I tell? Alright, let me look this up and see. I'm not... I could also just get started with desoldering the battery as well. It's pretty easy. How do I... Why do you hate poor people who aren't subscribed? I don't hate poor people. If I could turn ads off, I would. I would gladly turn ads off. I make jack shit from ads. And yes, you should subscribe to the channel. It's a very beautiful channel. Place to be. Beautiful place to be. You could chat with a very beautiful, amazing person. I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm gassing myself up. But... yeah. Where the fuck? Okay. I have a CR1616 battery holder. How can I tell which side is positive and which negative? There is one side. That doesn't help. I'm asking ChatGPT, by the way. You can't 50-50. Man, I wish ads just weren't a thing, you know? Oh, right. Okay, I think I might just actually be stupid. Why are you using AI slop? I use ChatGPT for... I use ChatGPT for a ton of shit, man. It's really helpful for searching things up. Again, I'm okay with AI for some things, not okay with AI for other things. Ah, Jesus. Now, how do I open this? How do I open this battery? Did they steal this like fucking Fort Knox or something, buddy? Like, huh? Hold on. How do I open you? What the fuck? Okay, now I'm actually confused. How do I open? I'm gonna... Don't do this. Don't do this, guys. Flush cutter time. Perfect. Give me my battery. Give it. Give it. Ah. Oh, Jesus. Dude, what the f... Okay, I think I got it. Yay, I got it. Okay, cool. Okay, I see. So, here's how you can tell positive and negative. The side with the leaf is negative because this is the negative side right here. Okay. Just put the battery in. The thing is, with some of these games, if I put the polarity the wrong way, it might just cook the game. So I'm just trying to be careful as to which side is which. But I think I know now. It's pretty straightforward. This is negative. This is positive. Okay. Roll with that. I'm assuming the plus side. Yeah, I'm assuming that too. Okay. Get this out of the way. So, like, something happened with a 3DS, right? Where somebody put the battery in the wrong way and the 3DS just got completely fried because it didn't have proper protection for that. So, I always make sure that the battery is, like, I always research that it's in the right orientation before I put it on for that specific reason. Because with older stuff, the protection circuits that are in newer devices just aren't there, and you could just easily cook your shit, which is bad, really bad. So I'm gonna get a... Should I use the flat tip? Let's see. So I gotta desolder and wick this. I think I'll just use the flat tip. Okay. I love the fact that I learned soldering with you guys, because I know how to do so much more shit now. It's amazing. I also got another Game Boy mod on the way. I'm gonna be making something cool tomorrow as well. I'm doing a lot of things for tomorrow's stream. We'll see what happens. Okay, soldering iron. And where the fuck? Yeah, I need the vent. That's what I need. No, I'm not venting. I just need my fucking fan. Solder. We have this vent. The you put the other battery holders back. Okay. Yeah, toss everything over. I'm also gonna put the battery away from the fucking hot soldering iron. Probably a good idea, right, guys? What do you think? I don't think that should be there. Just a small thought, you know? Alright. Let me get the games out of the way as well. Okay. So now we got our solder station nice and clean. I'm gonna heat up the iron here. Alright, let me heat up the iron. And let me get my solder wick and solder prepared. And I'm gonna get some tweezers and a Q-tip. I'll be right back. 1 second, guys. I have returned with gifts. We got tweezers. We got Q-tips. Probably should not put the Q-tips next to the hot soldering iron. That's probably a good idea, right, guys? Okay. Yeah, I could try desoldering it with the... Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. Rather than using Chip Quick and using the wick, I'm just gonna melt the blob and lift the battery up with these tweezers. Yeah, it's gonna be a little risky, but that should be okay. I think it should be okay. First, I need to wet the solder. I'm gonna use some flux. Just wet the solder. Go. Okay. A little too much flux, but that's okay. Alright, I'm just gonna turn on my fan, so it might be sounding a little bad. Hey, Yo-Yo, what's up? How to make fire on stream. Yeah, so we'll be making fire. We're cavemen today. All right. Okay, that's one side. Wow, that lifted up really easily. What the fuck? Yeah, this definitely smells of aftermarket replacement. I wouldn't be surprised though. Games have been owned for years. All right, that's the old battery gone. And again, here's the game and save chip, so we gotta be careful of that. All right. So now let me get some ISO. Let me get some ISO. All right, let me get some ISO, IPA, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm gonna clean off the flux I just put. And we're gonna clean off this extra solder here. I'm gonna use my own because it's probably better than this giant ass fucking blob that I see on this thing. Just clean this guy up as good as I can around the entire part. Okay. All right, should be good. Now we just need the wick. This part. All right, I'm gonna get my horse tweezers. Cool. And again, I can always ask you guys questions, right? You guys will answer my questions truthfully and honestly, right? Right, guys? Right? I'm totally not gonna get scammed and bamboozled by you guys, right? I know some of you guys will. You know. Wait, let me actually up... Oh, it's at 370 already. We're chilling. Okay. So long as I don't know is the answer. Very good start. Alright, let me turn on the fan. Jeez. Solder. Okay, clean one pad. Does it involve fire and flashing lights? What? What do you mean flashing lights? What flashing lights would there be? Like, oh, this like extremely loud incorrect buzzer dot OGG. I've seen those memes so many times, it's so funny. Alright, let me clean this again. I gotta do a lot of cleaning here because this isn't my hardware, so I'm gonna be extra careful. When it is my hardware, I give zero shits. Okay. No, we just need to wick off. I don't know, light's pretty. Alright, fair enough. Also, but fuck RGB. RGB sucks. I hate RGB on PCs. What is this? This is Pokemon Sapphire. Disassembled, and I'm replacing the battery for my friend because he donated these cartridges to me. Just gonna flux the wick real quick here. So what I'm doing is I'm just desoldering the battery, cleaning up the solder, and then soldering in a replacement battery holder so that in the future, if my friend needs to replace the battery, he can just pop it in and out. Okay, here we go. Just tap the area. What part is game? And why not working? So I drew out before, but the part that's not working is the clock circuit. The game can be played, but the game chip... Okay, yeah, I just explained this, but 1 second. Let me desolder this and I'll explain again. Just need to make sure I don't desolder anything by mistake. Uh-oh. Get off. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, so explained before, but I'll explain again. So I wrote it all here. So in the Game Boy, in older Game Boy carts, like Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, the first generation ones for the original Game Boy, they needed a battery because, you know, persistent storage, like on a chip, wasn't invented yet. So for tiny cartridge form factors, you have to have a battery always powering on a RAM chip. And as you know, in like a computer, when you have RAM, it always needs to be turned on to store memory. So the Nintendo, or Game Freak, I guess, took that idea and made game saves by persistently running RAM all the time using a small coin cell battery like this one, right? However, in the 2000s, when this game was released, flash memory was invented. So chips like these, right? I'm not sure which one is the save chip, but one of these chips holds your game save. Probably this guy. Actually, is it that guy? Hold on. Where's the SRAM? I'm not sure. But anyways, so basically nowadays the battery on these Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, etc. games is for the clock. Yeah, and then when the battery dies, the memory gets shut off and it wipes your save. But with the advent of flash memory on these cartridges, the ones that are in front of you, the save still persists, but the clock circuit requires a battery to be consistently powering it so we can tell what the time is when you launch the game next. So that's what the battery is for. So what we're doing is we're replacing the battery, because when I should just put in Ruby and show you what I mean. So I'm gonna get a Game Boy, plug in the Ruby game. Nintendo, don't sue me, I have an original game in here, fuck you. Turn this bad boy on. So it's launching. Okay. Oh, wait, this one doesn't have... This one has a fine battery. Okay, well, fuck me, I guess. Let me get the Emerald one in there. That one I know doesn't work. I guess the Ruby one is okay, but we're gonna just replace it anyway, just because fuck it. Why not? Alright, I'm gonna put Emerald in here. Show you what I mean. Okay. Yeah, so right here, the internal battery is run dry, the game can be played. However, clock-based events will no longer occur, so anything that requires time doesn't work. So yeah, this is my friend's game, so again, I'm gonna be fixing that one tomorrow and last. Alright. Now battery's off. Let's put the new one on. So the positive end is according to my little button battery that I have here. Put you. That's cute that they handled the edge case. They had to, right? Like, there's no way that you can really handle it otherwise, other than saying like, hey, the battery's gone, right? Also, welcome, Dung. How you doing? Alright, so you can see here that the positive side is this leaf and the negative side is the bottom, so we're going to solder those to the appropriate spot. Easiest way to get it on, lead-free solder. We don't use lead in this household, my friends. And that's the reason why I had the fucking ventilator on. Just careful. You can just ignore it. Yeah, but then there are events in the game that are pretty important. Like, there are things like berries that grow in the game based on the real-time clock events, right? So there are things that happen that need the RTC to work. And that's the thing, which is what I want to happen in this case. Alright, let's see. And my friend obviously wants that too. That's why we don't really ignore it. We're more so just trying to fix it up here. So we're just making a replaceable battery instead. Okay, what I'm gonna do is open up my... It's like integral to the game itself, so, you know, not having a perfectly working game kind of irks me, and I also have the ability to solder, so might as well, right? There are ways to do this without soldering as well. Oh, the devs? Yeah, they could have. Like, honest to God... Sorry, the ventilator gets really weird. Honest to God, I think modern game devs would probably... Modern day AAA game developers would probably ignore it. Let's be real. This pad. Oh my god, it's sticking to my finger. Actually, it's fine. Just align it. What? That's not aligning, which is not good. There we go. There, that's one side done. The other side. Did you check out the typing data set? Yeah, I tabulated on sheets, and I'll talk about more tomorrow. Tomorrow's stream. There we go. A big joint. Yeah, not really. Oh. Yeah, that's good. I can show you the sample size was pretty good actually for this typing set, which is nice. I'm very happy about that. Solder on there because I think it needs a bit more. Found a problem with this battery holder already. The pins are not long enough here. Solder. Perfect. Should be good. All right. Let's put the battery in and see if it works. Okay. The bat's in. All right. Positive. Positive. Negative. Negative. Yep. Solder joints aren't that great, but should be okay. Let's put the... So... Alright, let's put the back... Let's put this back in this case. Blow on it a little. Yep. A little bit. There we go. Got it in. Okay. Alright, and I'm just gonna screw back in. Pretty easy to disassemble these guys. Just one screw. Unlike the Game Boy, which took like 5 years to disassemble. Okay. So tri-wing screw. This guy back in. Line it up. There we go. So hopefully, with this new battery, it should work just fine. Alright, let's test on the Game Boy. Zoom out here. Alright. Looks like it's booting. Alright, let's see. Yep! Hey, nice. Okay. So it worked. The battery warning didn't pop up. Perfect. Hell yeah. So we got one battery replaced. Okay, cool. Nice. No. Alright. So yeah, again, it's pretty cool because I can show you guys how... Okay, so let me just... let's just open up the save. This isn't my friend's game anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So let me just show you what my modded Game Boy can do, right? So here's the display. So here's like the brightness options. And I can set it to a specific value. Then there's also color mode. So I have different color filters. There's a nightlight mode as well, which is really nice. Especially if you want to play in like the dark. There's some like pixelation stuff if you want to add some retro stuff to it. Like that, see? And then there's also some desaturation thing, which is cool. And you can also change the display using touch buttons on here, which is cool. Oh yeah, this thing is almost about to die. Fuck. Okay. Okay, then. Alright. So yeah, that's the... And again, to close it. Game Boy's still running. I have the headphone jack at the bottom, so I plug this guy in, and it pipes the audio through, and I'm able to play the game just like normal. Yeah, that's it. So again, remember, modding this thing as Type-C and everything. I'm gonna be doing something with the link cable tomorrow. It should be fun. So I got a question for you guys. Do you want me to just finish modding all 3 of the cartridges? Or do you want me to save one for tomorrow? or you want me to just, you know, fuck off and do something else. I could just fix all of the cartridges right now. It shouldn't be too hard of a task, considering that the Sapphire one was fixed almost instantly. What do you guys think? While you guys ponder, I am going to get the other cartridges. And I'm really glad I'm doing this for my friend. He got all the parts and everything. Most of the time was figuring out the battery. Okay, so we can do all of them. All right. So let me just do the Ruby one next. I'm really glad that I'm able to do this for my friends because they're really great people. And I love every single one of them. They're great. They're amazing. And I also skipped Overwatch with them for today. So yeah, that's a different story. This guy. But yeah, like, honestly, one thing I'd tell you guys, one thing I'd say as like someone who's young talking to old people is cherish your friends. If you have friends, like, keep in touch with them, man. Like, they will get you through the toughest of times. And you guys are great too. Like, don't get me wrong, you guys are amazing. But I love my friends. They're amazing people. But yeah. I'm just gonna let the soldering iron warm up again. Like, I don't know, like, as you guys get older, I know there are a lot of older people in my chat right now. How do you guys handle, like, friendships, making new friends, things like that? Have you guys made new friends? Have you guys, like, talked to your coworkers more often, etc.? Because as you know, I'm still a student. I don't really have friends at work because, you know, it's work, and I'm not really an employee there. Like, I was hanging out with my friends today and shit. What is free time? Yeah, I mean, that's true. You don't have that. I mean, fuck you, you're also... What the fuck do you mean, what is free time? You're done. Fuck you. I'm still going. Yeah, you're not allowed to speak, Yo-Yo. Asocial by nature? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a very social person in general. I love yapping. As you can tell, I'm a fucking big fat yapper. Alright, I'm gonna... Looks... God damn it. Come on, man. Looks... I'm talking to the wrong crowd here, man. Oh yeah, I gotta flux the points. Yeah, this solder job is really weird. What the fuck? What is this giant blob? Hold on, I'm gonna zoom in. What is this giant blob here? What the fuck is this? I have a lot of online friends from VTubers. Yeah, I do too. Yeah, it's mainly the IRL friends I'm talking about too, but yeah, online is great too. I have a few online friends that I trust a lot. Let's, this. And we're gonna hook it like that. There we go. Off. Then the second side. Oh, buddy. Time for you to be hired as a solderer if that's the results from a real Pokemon. No, I think this is an aftermarket repair. There's no way this is factory soldering. Again, my friend got this one secondhand. The only one that's his from childhood is the Emerald version. So we're gonna look at that solder job and compare it to the previous two. Alright, but we gotta wick these off. Let's do that real quick. Pretty easy to wick off, honestly. I should text my friend I'm repairing your games right now. Let me just send him the link. So we're gonna get some wick. Jesus. Wait, why is it not? Oh, got the wick stuck. Alright, let me unstick the wick. That sounds like a rhyme. What the fuck? It's not fluxed. What the fuck? Again, make sure to keep your wick fluxed, guys. Otherwise, it's not gonna fucking work. It was fluxed. Fuck you. Alright. Straight. There we go. I have to break the solder. Oh, there's so much extra fucking solder here, man. I wonder how well keeping the wick in flux would work. Yeah, so I found that a fluxed wick works a lot better than an unfluxed one, and the reason why is simply because the fluxed one makes better contact. Just storing it. Yeah, there are wicks that have flux in them by default. This one doesn't because it's cheap, and it's but the spool, so like I don't really mind putting some flux paste on it every time I want a wick. Spool is like way better than one of those, you know, stupid plastic things. I'll probably make you guys want me to make a video on soldering and desoldering technique that I learned, because I mean I did stream it, but it doesn't really do it justice because, you know, I kind of learned it as I go, but yeah. Just soak it all up. I don't want to burn the PCB. Might as well. Yeah, okay, sounds good. It's a good skill. It is a very good skill, right? I mean, it's being using hardware and being able to solder is probably one of the most important skills to have. I think every CS major should learn how to solder at some point. Even though they are a CS major, like, it's still a good skill to have. I don't know if that's a thing taught in college courses, but should be. Like, as a required class. Because, you know, breadboarding can only get you so far. You gotta be able to actually assemble the damn thing. And I feel like the electronic side of coding is such a foreign concept to me, because I had no idea how the hardware and software interface with each other, other than serial, and that's it. I need tweezers. It's not required. That's, yeah, I think it should be required. That's my controversial opinion of the night. I'm gonna snooze the ads. Okay. Alright. Alright, so that's that one done. And in the battery holder. Like that. Gonna clean this guy up again. Again, I'm cleaning up pretty much every single step. Because I want to make sure that nothing gets destroyed in this cartridge since it's not mine. That's clean as it can be. Then we just need to solder on the battery holder, which is a pretty easy task. Just clean the tip. Let's just align it properly. There we go. One side's anchored down. We can get the other side anchored down next. So the way to do these reusable battery holders is simply tilt one down. And then you could just sandwich the other one down. Fingers like that. Should solder nicely. Fuck me. Alright. There we go. That's good. Just have to wait for it to harden. Alright, looks good. Let's get the next battery in. Where the hell did I put you? And yes, I'm cutting it open with flush cutters because I'm too lazy to get scissors. Yeah, my buddy. There we are. Dude, how the fuck did Duracell package this, man? So ass. Come on, give me my fucking battery. Give it. Eh. Hika, I'm gonna make an amendment to your statement. The longest part was getting the battery out of its fucking packaging, because this is torture. Get out! There we go. Okay. Got it. Fucking hell, it's like wrestling. So, get this in. Yep. So we got our very powerful Duracell in there. Alright, now... Cart. We'll blow on the cartridge. Now we just need to... Yeah, that's correct. Okay. Now we just need to... Open this back up. Part back in. Go. Seal it back up. Okay. Here I'm gonna put the screw on. My screwdriver. Here. All right, there we go. Second game. We'll zoom out. Now let's see how this looks. Okay, and again, this game I think was working before as well, so yeah, this works fine. All right, cool. Okay, now second one done. I'm gonna run the ad because Twitch is forcing me to, and then we're gonna do the Emerald one, which is the most important one. All right, let's run this real quick. Sorry, guys. All right, let me get the Emerald one all prepped, ready to go. It's like doing surgery. It's like in and out of the OR. Yeah, these batteries, man. So tiny, yet they do so much. The one thing I really hate about button batteries, though, is that they're all different sizes. So first of all, they're all different sizes, right? So it's really hard to find which one fits where. And they also only have like one side per. It's not like a AA or AAA that makes it really easy to slot the damn thing in. These button batteries are a pain in the ass to mess with. Royal pain in the ass. Like actual pain in the ass to do things with, because you can never find them anywhere. It's like, this is the only one that's not standardized because everybody has their different fucking button bat for everything. It sucks. I don't know what you guys think. Okay. Also, regarding the music, last time I did shorts, the music sounded kind of weird because it was like Nintendo music over me explaining fucking fMRI. So if you guys think the music doesn't really match the vibe of the stream, just let me know and I'll change it. That way it makes the shorts look better. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. Alright, let's let this... ads really break streams, don't they? Alright. Okay, ads over. So... here's the Emerald version. This is my friend's actual game. So we're going to be very careful with this one. This one should be factory soldered. So let's just compare how the solder work looks on the factory version versus those other two batteries that we just saw. Okay. Slide off. Okay, see, this looks much better. So this blue battery is the factory battery from the looks of it. And you can see here that the solder technique looks way better on the factory version than the previous one. So that makes me suspect that these two batteries were aftermarket. This one is a legitimate battery. Okay. It's still dead. That's all that matters, but, you know, just observation, right? So let's desolder this guy. Pretty easy task. Get the button bats out of the way here. You guys see what I'm saying, though? Yeah, whoever did this aftermarket did a shitty solder job, that's for sure. Come on, warm up, buddy. That's good enough. I should probably flux you first. Hold up. flux on. Okay. Bit more finicky. Okay, maybe I should just... Maybe I'll just wick. Be easier. Use this one. Try this side. Aha, there you are. I'm burned. Shit. Okay. There we go. Alright, I got one side lifted. Just had to bend it a little bit. Let me clean up and try the other side. Yeah, maybe I should get the helping hand clips. Might be easier. It's okay. I didn't get anything else, did I? Nah. Pretty hard to get anything else on this guy. Let's get the other side. Use my finger to stabilize. Go ahead and grab with the tweezers here. Solder. Okay, come on, buddy. You can get off. Problem. Need more solder. One healthy tip to get a battery off or something off. It should just give the iron some more solder. It just goes on like glue. Yeah, I do need some. Okay, yeah. I think we need a little bit of extra help here. Guy's not having a good time. We get some chip click and put it on here. Should make it easier. Give the joint some flow. There we go. Chip quit fixed it instantly. I love this. I love this desoldering alloy. It's so fucking nice. Alright. Cool. So chip quit got off. I'm gonna clean the area. Let's just clean the area real quick, and then we can get with the wicking. Yeah, so that's the difference between aftermarket solder and factory solder. You notice with the Ruby and Sapphire cartridges that it was easier to get the battery off because the solder was most likely leaded, and it melts at a lower melting point. But factory solder takes a higher melting point to actually melt. So in my case, I had to use a little bit of extra alloy and a little bit of extra solder to get this thing working, in addition to the flux that I was using previously. So just keep that in mind when desoldering factory components, is that, you know, you might need to use really high temperatures, especially near a battery, which is, you know, that's a pretty dangerous thing to do. So you just gotta be very careful, that's all. Don't set your house on fire, guys. Please don't. Not a good idea. Totally don't recommend. Even if it's for the insurance money. Okay. I think I need another, like, solder. I don't even know what the fuck else. Okay. Let's, desolder these joints here. There we go. Collect all that in the wick. 2 seconds. Okay. Back. Alright, good enough. That guy got picked up quite easily. Okay. And again, always remember, cut off your used wick, because once the wick is used, it's not going to absorb any more solder. Okay. I just flux both ends because this one was a little bit finicky. Yep, good enough. Okay, there we go. So that's desoldered properly. I'm gonna clean this up. Hopefully, we should be able to get the new battery on. Nice and easy. Also, just my friend backed up the saves from these cartridges, so if anything goes wrong, then saves are fine. I don't assume it would, though. This is working perfectly. This is working perfectly fine so far. Let's grab connector, battery. Positive, positive, negative, negative. Perfect. Some extra flux would be good. Stick that here. All right, should work. Cool, that's fitting. Okay, let's hit the positive side now. A little hard to see, sorry about that. Good contact there. Better. Got some really good solder contact on those points there. Joints aren't coming off. Good. All right. Put the bat in. Get the bat in, and we should be done. That was very quick. Quick and easy job. Again, opening this bad boy up with a flush cutter because I'm a fucking lazy ass. Again, don't be me, guys. Don't be me. I am a dumb fuck. A doom cough. Alright. Come on. Get out. Ah, shit. Hey. Bro, get out of the fucking package, man. What the hell? I don't want anybody touching these things. Alright. I guess considering children, button battery injuries are a very common thing in children. I guess that's why. I don't fucking know. Anyways. Yep. Alright. Battery's in. Let's see if it works. Alright, this needs to be cleaned. Bit of flux left over. Some ISO. Go. Alright, moment of truth with the OG one. One that my friend had since the beginning. What's the screwdriver? Here we go. All right, let's see. I'm gonna plug this in. Zoom out a bit. See if you work. Moment of truth. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Okay, sweet. All right. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. So there we go. 3 cartridges successfully revived with nothing but some soldering and a battery holder. And the best part is, you know, the battery holder, my friend can change out these batteries as much as he wants without having to desolder and resolder the battery again. Assuming that he uses these cartridges past 20 years, but there you go. Let's just clean up my workstation. Sorry. Clean up my workspace. In the trash. Oh shit. Snip that. Again, you can see like how messy my workspace gets after a while. I think with the Game Boy mod, it was really messy. Like for a few days, because there were so many like moving parts that became difficult to manage everything. Let me close all this shit. Soldering is basically surgery, except that there's no blood everywhere, you know? That's a valid statement to make, right? Turn off the iron. Okay. All right, there we go. iFixit kit is away. Then tips to the side. Chip quick ally got put back. All right. This tweezer set is really nice. I love the iFixit tweezers. The job done so easily. I love how somebody fucking revs their muscle car outside my house. Like, dude, we already know that your muscle car fucking sucks. Shut the fuck up, man. Alright. I need to get rid of these batteries somehow. I'll figure out how, on my own time. I guess I'll just give them back to him, honestly. Where's the, spot? Where's the box for the emerald? Oh yeah, he gave me the fucking Pokemon cards in a fucking Altoids box. And then toss this inside here. There we go. Pokemon Emerald, good to go. Alright, I'll give these back to him when he's able to get them from me. Well, until then, I mean, I guess I have some legit Nintendo games I can use to test the Game Boy with. And not get DMCA'd on stream, you know? Nintendo loves to fucking do that. For now, I'm gonna put, oh god. I'm gonna put my Easy Flash in here, because that's very useful. That works. Yup, there we go. Alright, that's good. Easy Flash is good to go. Throw out all the Duracell packaging. Okay, my workspace is more or less clean now. Alright. Perfect. Well, thanks for joining me on the ride with this fucking Pokemon game shit. That was fun. Probably wash my hands or wipe. Let me wipe my hands because that That has bad. My hands have battery and lead. Probably not a good thing to have when I'm streaming or doing anything really. Just wipe this off. Whatever the fuck I can off my hands. Perfect. Oh, okay, my headphones are falling off my own head. Oh, jeez. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, if you guys want to know about more toxic shit in soldering, there's tip tinner. This produces ammonia gas, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I remember that this does produce ammonia gas when you put the soldering tip inside this thing to properly get the schmutz off. Some shit. I don't fucking know. Alright. So we don't need the webcam anymore. Alright, yeah. While I figure out what to do next, I think I'm gonna show you guys my Twitch bot. I know ZeroX was interested. It's not in Go. I actually just did in TypeScript, but I did do something interesting with it. So hold on. Close this. Okay, we're good. All right, this. Uh-oh. Oh no. Nope, it's gone. Okay, good. So let's open up Zed. And I'm going to show you guys my Twitch bot. I guess I'll just program that for the rest of the stream because I'm saving all the other shit for tomorrow anyway. Okay. Here we go. Oh, jeez. All right. So here's what I've been working on for the past few days. It's a bot for the Twitch channel. Should be cool. It's pretty cool, right? All right, so let me just run it. It takes a little bit to start up because of the TypeScript runner. Okay. Now, I want you guys to type the exclamation lurk. Try and see what happens when you do that while it's connected. It currently runs on my account right now. Yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna switch it to the bot account that I created like a long time back, but yeah, it has that now. So that's an example as to the commands. So that's an example as to the commands I have. And I'm gonna explain why I made the entire command handler look like this as opposed to the easier method. Also, I'm gonna be for real with you guys. Zed is such a beautiful terminal such a beautiful editor. Like, whenever I type something, let's just say like chat client, it just auto completes everything. It's so nice. Look at this. My coding speed has gotten so much faster because of this autocomplete. Sometimes it gets stuff wrong, but a lot of the autocomplete is really good. I'm sorry, but this is really nice. Okay. So what I did so far with this bot is I made a simple command framework, right? The prefix I'm just going to keep as an exclamation point. I'm not going to make a configurable prefix or anything like that. Then we just added a simple chat client. And we also added a method for authentication using refresh tokens and existing client secret client ID credentials. And finally, add some types. And we also made a command system. So whenever a command is run, it'll do all this shit and run a void function. And that's pretty much it so far. And let me explain. So if you guys know my bots in Discord called like Fort Jester, Royal Guard, whatever, these bots essentially have custom commands where you can set a keyword. So for example, if we set the lurk command as the keyword, so key, and then the value is equal to user is lurking or some shit like that, right? This is how I have it in here. So this will, when the lurk command is run, the user value is replaced with the actual username, and then lurk is run, right? And this can be flexible across any command that you make. There's no parameters or anything like that that you can pass in, but what happens is this is all saved in a database. So whenever you execute this command at runtime, it'll just pull from the database or the command cache, and it'll go from there. So you're able to add commands without the need of, you know, hard coding them. Now, I know it's a little bit overkill for a bot that I'm making for my own channel, but I feel like it's something good to have, especially if, you know, I want to just add something in the future and I don't want to log into my fucking server and restart the bot that way. It becomes a huge pain in the ass, you know? So yeah, that's what mostly this bot is going to be. And that's why I couldn't use the pre-built framework, because I have my own system here that I'm working with. I also need to fix the tab indentation. We'll fix that in a second. But yeah. How do I even fix that instead? Let's see. Settings. Tab. Indentation. Maybe it's the format that's doing it. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm gonna get cracking. Let's just get cracking on this and we'll go from there. How does that sound? Unless you guys have some questions about some other stuff. But yeah, TwitchBot is made with a library called, let me just look it up for you guys. Warple. The thing with TwitchBots is that it's really it's easier just to use the JavaScript libraries, because there's like way more support for it. The Go libraries and all the other language libraries kind of suck. So Twerple covers all the APIs. We also need a method to check if the channel is live or not, because we don't want the bot to be working while I'm offline. Because I'm going to be running this on a server, right? So we're going to check if I'm live, if I'm not live, etc. Okay. And I probably should have a manual override as well to enable the bot. If you guys have any other suggestions for commands that you think would be nice, let me know. I'd be happy to check in that. Maybe like channel point. Actually, no, that's already existing. I'm more so thinking about like lurk and custom commands, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing really else I can add in the Twitch bot that's going to bring good stuff other than like what I have with the existing bots on my channel, you know? Okay, so first things first, I'm going to commit this to Git. Okay. Split alt system and made commands. Framework. Commands are now their own function. Auth is now fetched from credentials and has its separate access token form. Okay, cool. So that's done. All right, so the next thing we need to do is make a few commands. We have the lurk command, stuff like that. And the thing that I found with this bot, rather than writing it in Go, I wrote it in Node.js. And the reason why is because the library only works with Node.js, but also that Node has become really good with running TypeScript, surprisingly. Like, it doesn't run it like Dino and Bun, where type checking is done, but there's a utility called TSX. Okay, I need to just... Okay. There's a library runtime called TSX that basically runs the type checker, and then it runs, you know, your Node program. It works just like Node. It's called TypeScript execute. Let me just show you what I mean. Okay. Right here. So it's a Node.js enhancement to run TypeScript. And you just run all your TypeScript code without having to worry about the configuration. All of the weirdo importing schemas are all gone now, and it's really nice. Like, this is a really good utility. You should install it on pretty much any system that you have. Pretty good stuff. I'm probably going to make a single SCA application and make it easier from there. There's like a way to make Node applications into single file executables, and I can just upload that to a server. It's just like Dino, but just requires more tools. So let's see. Let me show my secondary capture. All right, I guess what we could do is we have the auth. I guess we could figure out how to create a bunch of. We have to figure out user permissions as well. Okay. So I need to figure out how to get a user's permission. So I need to check if I'm the owner, and only owners and moderators can set commands. You guys shouldn't be able to set commands on the bot. That makes a lot of sense, right? And it's actually pretty easy from this entire thing alone to make a simple chat relay bot between YouTube and Twitch. I just need to figure out how to do it with YouTube because it's a little bit weird. I have to like pull the YouTube API for a stream, and that's really annoying. All right, so that's discrimination. I demand command power. No, you don't. No, I guess I can give it for VIPs as well. That could work too. But like, I just don't want people fucking adding commands randomly that are in chat. Maybe a bot can abuse it or something. That's kind of fucking stupid. All right, so let's see. All right, we open ChatGPT. Exclamation point ban everyone. Wow. No, the commands are not going to be ban things. That's already on other bots that I don't really need to worry about. Let's see. I'm gonna ask, and the best part about this of open code is that I'm just running my GPT Plus plan, and I'm able to just ask it a question like this and should be able to figure it out without the need for any issues. Ad break. No, not happening. Not allowed. Okay, that doesn't fucking help me. What? Yeah, I don't have this. I'm using the raw shit, bro. What the hell? Let's fix that. All right. That is being very stupid. Let me go to the references. Gotta love how the Discord server is the one place to go to. That's amazing. Users, here we go. Okay, so we need the API client, and then we need to check the permissions somehow. Okay. All right. My dumb chat client on message. Let's see. Chat clients. Okay, it's not here. Of course it's not. Reference in chat. Okay, chat client. Message. Okay. Chat user. Aha, there you are. How do I get the chat user now? All right. Let's see. Check my on connect, on disconnect, on message. Let's see. Channel user text message. All right. Why can't I get a duplicated identifier? Uh-oh. Okay, so... Aha, there it is. Alright, so I need a... Oh, that's great. Alright, so... Const message, channel user params. So that kind of puts a wrench in my thing, considering that the, the message object does it have all the info already? Let's see. Text of the message. No, it doesn't matter. Oh, message.text. I guess we have that. Channel, username. Username, okay. Oh my god, what the fuck is going on? Alright. My chat is dying here, holy shit. Alright, so I guess we don't need this message thing here, because... And our params could be its own thing, technically, because we don't really need those. Okay. So let's rewrite a little bit, because the message is a object already. I'm gonna make these a couple of underscores here, because we don't need them. Okay. Alright, that's the wrong type, but we'll fix that in a sec. Add that type. And then we don't need this interface here. Save that. Go to work. We don't need this. Okay. Okay. And message dot... Okay, so channel ID. Guess that works. Nope, of course not. Okay, that's not good. Okay, that should work. Now we just need the channel, so we need the superset. Should probably make a union type or something. Not sure. I can either make a union type or I could just make a context object and then do context on bot. Because the bot is just a chat client. Chat client has, what does that have? Let's see. These are just all events. Yeah, I mean, 100% sure what I should approach, how I should approach this here. I think the best thing to do, you need the channel here somehow. Okay. Let me just look at the documentation again. Oh, ad break. God damn you. Alright. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Channel ID. Doesn't help me. Alright, so I need to make a union type, I guess. I might try a union type here, I'm not sure. Let's try it. See what that does. Go into types, command. Alright. Base chat message. Alright. Let me just ask and see which one would work best. So I need to pass the channel name in the command handler function. This is what I say about rubber duck programming. Asking the rubber duck if it's a good idea to do this. Yes, Quack, that's right. Let's see. Okay. I just need to tell Twitch what is going on. I mean, not Twitch, ChatGPT. Yeah, come on, man. You got this. Alright, I guess we can use CTX for this. Let's do that then. Alright. So then this is just channel string user string, and then let's just see what this does for this. Yeah, that's complete bullshit. Alright. Alright, so let's make that command context. And then we'll do this. Alright, so ctx.bot.say message dot. Okay. Yeah, I'll do the trick. I mean, I'm not sure if I like it, but it'll do the trick. Oops. Okay, that's working properly. Alright, this is now looks a lot like bots that I've used previously. Alright, cool. Alright, why is this yelling at me? It needs another argument. Okay, that's pretty easy to do. Okay. Where do I define the command handler? Commands is, we don't need this. Alright, command handler, ctx message, and then params. Okay, cool. So now we pass in an optional param value. So if we ever need to take the command parameters, we can get that with just saying params. Let me just do this. Cool. Alright, so let's test it. Then hopefully when I type in exclamation point work, yep, that works. Beautiful. Oh, P class mention. Why does it say that? What the fuck? Okay. Let's just type in the signature. Okay. See how that looks. Let me see if I can ask it to edit it for me. I'll see what this thinks about it. I also don't know what I should really call this bot. Like, Monami bot is just a placeholder. I don't know, like, what do you guys want, a pet or something? I have no idea. Like, what name would you give this thing? What name would you give this object? Carlos. Also, hey, Random Gaming, how you doing? Carlos, a very good name. I don't know if that fits for for Monami's lore. We'll figure it out. I'll make a poll, I guess. Maybe have something lore rated. Would Monami have an AI bot in the house? Maybe. I'm not sure. Jarvis says, possibly. That actually sounds pretty cool. Honestly, that might be fire. Because it is like a futuristic thing, right? So that kind of fits. Think about it. That sounds like a good idea. I like that. Okay, I actually kind of like what the AI did here. So we bound the say to a handler here. I don't know. Project checkpoint. I don't really think that's necessary. We could do ctxbot.say. Let me see what I did on my previous Twitch bot. Not 100% sure what I did here. So... I have a Twitch bot that I made before, so I'm just gonna check that code and see what I did there. Modules, lurks. Okay. So that's just a simple say. Okay, gotcha. So bot.say is the right way to go here. So ctx.say, channel, display name is lurking, okay. This is a fucking tangle and a half. How do I do it with EasyBot? Not sure. Look at the examples in the documentation. What am I up to? I'm coding a Twitch bot. Maybe check it back in though. Bot configuration makes it easy to revert chat commands. God, this is so difficult at times. Fuck. Reference, EasyBot, then bot. Okay, then on. Command, document context, okay. Broadcast already, banner name, message, display names. Okay. Got it. Wait, there's a broadcaster name? Wait, how the fuck do I get that? Okay, it looks like this person does... Okay, I see. Alright. They made a class, which is interesting. Okay. Other than what I did before. What's the broadcaster name? I also don't want to overcomplicate this as well. See if it's still getting the message. Nope, of course not. Fuck. Okay. I guess we'll work with that for now. ctx.say should be okay. I mean, we don't really have any other methods on this to do other than ctx reply. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I guess we could keep it this for now. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, there's also announce, which looks good. That's not a thing. Okay, that's fun. Alright, I guess I could look into that in a different time. Okay, let's... I could make a class, that's possible too. Hmm. See, this is what I always struggle on when I'm coding. I always struggle on the ergonomics of the code itself. Rather than just saying full send and just throw it all in there, I struggle on the ergonomics after I get it working for the first time. Because right now I need to pass in the channel and the message, but it's not that easy to do. I mean, to be fair, we are building the context right here anyway, so it should be okay. Okay. Alright, we'll keep it as is. Let's see. So bots say then we don't need the channel name because we already know the channel name is my channel name. Command CTX has okay. Let's run with it. Amend the commit. There we go. And now... Alright, let's just try another command. Just for fun's sake. Coins... .ts. So then we need to create a new function. And then we can use random. So let's just make a stupid command. Alright, it should be pretty easy to do. So we add the chat message, we add the command context. And then all we got to do is make a simple randomizer. Okay. So we're gonna do a function here. So this is the cool part about the commands, right? You could just make any function, and then you just export the default function, and that's the function itself. That's the command itself, which makes it really straightforward to add a new command to this spot. And in addition to the database thing that I'll be doing later, should make it really, really easy to just add a command on here. I think I want to make like an announcement command as well, so I just do !announce or something that allows me to just pin something to the top of the chat. That makes it easier on you guys as well. Okay, so let's do... Cool. Alright, let's see if that works. I have to... There we go. Oops. Let's export that as the default function. Then we need to just add the coins. Oops. There we go. Let's just run this. And now, if we type !coins... Alright, you can type coins and see what happens if you guys want to in chat. Let's see how that looks. So now there's just lurk and coins commands. It's not saving to anywhere, by the way, so it just literally just puts in a random ass number. Alright, so now the question is, does this look okay? Coins is biased. Hey, listen, I got only 13, buddy. You can see in the code right here, it's just returning a random number. You can't say coins is biased, buddy. Alright? It's fine. Alright, so I probably should make a way to... I need to split this apart somehow. So let's make a framework file. I'm gonna copy all of this over to here. Oh, I need export. Alright, then we just need the check client. Unless you're using a lava lamp while everything is okay. Alright, if you want to get into there, shush. Alright, I'll deal with the framework a different day, I think. Next thing is the CTX, let's say. Okay, intersection. Alright, so let's try this instead. I feel like that would be a better idea than this command.say thing. Interface message is equal to. I have to set this equal to. Oh, I need to make this intersection. Does this not work with interfaces? Ah, I see. Okay. I guess that does make sense for an intersection type anyway. Maybe I should use Zod for this shit, honestly. It makes my life easier, but that's okay. Okay. Next, chat client, that's what it's called. Oop. I need to export this type. There we go. I'm gonna argue with the AI for a bit, trying to figure out its thought process. Okay, I'm gonna... Yeah, I feel much more comfortable with this. Bot.say. Okay, I'm gonna go from there. How does announcement work, though? So let's see. I don't have any... Why don't I have any ad snoozes? I don't understand. What the hell? Weird. Okay. Ah, it's a Helix API. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do that then. Alright, NCTX. I will add the API client later. So, oh fuck, we had an ad break. That's fun. Alright. I'll talk about it after the ad break. Sorry, I'm a little quiet right now just because I'm trying to plan out a few things, but now that I figured it out, I think I should be good to go. Alright, so let's get rid of this. Why are you yelling at me? Types of property are incompatible, but why? Question. Why are you yelling at me? Ah. Not passing in the actual chat client there. Whoopsie. That looks disgusting. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Nah, it's kind of shitty. Alright. I'm just gonna pass in the CTX. That makes it easier. Why am I getting yelled at? Okay, it's broken. That explains a lot. Alright, I think we got everything working now. It took a little bit of extra fucking elbow grease, but I think we got it. So, CTX, ctx.chat.say. Alright. Okay. Okay, I think I got it. So let's just test and see if it works. And I'll explain the architecture in a second. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Let me delete the coins command because we don't really need it. Actually, that should be fine. Okay, so basically the thing I had to do for this entire command handler is to deconstruct the command by splitting out the prefix and taking the parameters of the command. However, I need to be able to send all of these extra parameters as well. The thing is, Twitch is separated into multiple different APIs. So we have the IRC API, which is the chat. Then we have the API, which is Helix, and that's a different client entirely. So in order to do different types of functions in the bot itself, I need to be able to use both of those things, which requires a unified context object, like so. So I made this command CTX, which contains all of the info, such as chat, channel, whatever. And the message is just the raw chat message object, so I can get all the info such as the username and stuff like that, especially so I can check, for example, user info dot is, you know, we can check if the broadcaster, founder, Lima, yada yada yada, so we can check all of those things. And with all of that, this makes for a very flexible system, so I'm able to properly extend everything in the future. That's the overall goal of this bot, so it's less maintenance for me as I go on and just leave it running. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, let me get rid of this. Okay. Oh, that's good. Then we just add coins here. Just testing. I'm gonna push this to main. And again, this is on GitHub if you want to check it out. Like, github.com, Kimbride1. It's really just a proof of concept repo at the moment. I haven't really worked on it in detail. Again, I also still need to split this event handler out to a different file so that it's properly compartmentalized, because right now everything is pretty much all over the place. I need to fix that. But yeah, I feel like I should probably call it for the night though, because it is like 12:30 and I do gotta sleep. I've been up since like 5 a.m. and that's great, right? Everybody loves being up since 5 a.m. So yeah. But let me switch back to chatting here. Yeah, this was more of like a lightweight stream, nothing too crazy. We'll be talking about the entire things with like the typing test and stuff like that tomorrow and getting that over with, you know, typing test. And I also have another GBA mod I want to do. In addition, we'll probably work on the bot more, get that finished to a much better working state. I'll probably work on it tomorrow as well. And yeah, again, if you guys want to check out the Discord, you guys are already from there probably. I can't spell. Discord, socials, all that jazz. That's pretty much it. So I shall see you probably tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. And let me find someone to raid real quick. Yeah, I could raid Vague. Should I raid Vague or Zozo? Yeah, let's raid Zozo. Let's raid this dumbass. Alright. Well, I'm gonna raid these idiots. Thank you guys so much for watching. I always appreciate it. Come back tomorrow. That's like the more formal stream. We'll be talking about the typing test results. We'll be fucking around with the link cable on my Game Boy, and we'll be messing around with the Twitch bot even more. Maybe look at some more articles. Who knows? So, yeah. Always good talking to you guys. Always enjoy having fun. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Bye.